What really happens when a woman senses you're no longer chasing her? It's not silence, it's not peace, it's something far more revealing. When a man truly pulls back, not out of manipulation, but because he's done chasing illusions, everything changes. Her mask slips, her true emotions surface, and the power dynamic quietly flips. This isn't about games, it's about presence, discipline, emotional clarity. If you've ever wondered what a woman really feels when she knows you've let go, this will open your eyes. Because the moment she realizes you no longer seek her validation, she's forced to face a truth she's been avoiding. Stay with me. This shift isn't just about her, it's about the strength you've built within. Number 1, the initial shock of losing control. When a woman senses you've detached, the emotional shock cuts deeper than you think. It's not just surprise, it's the collapse of control. She was sure of your attention, your presence, your emotional availability, but your silence disrupts that comfort. Suddenly, the dynamic shifts. You're no longer predictable. That loss of certainty forces her inward, triggering doubts. Did I misread him? What changed? These questions aren't casual. They're driven by fear, not of you, but of losing the power she once felt over you. And this is where the game flips. Your absence creates mystery. Your stillness becomes power. Don't rush to explain. Let the silence echo. In that space, she begins to reevaluate both you and herself. And that's when the shift truly begins. Number 2, her need to reclaim validation. Validation is emotional oxygen. When she senses your attention slipping, it triggers an internal alarm. She begins subtly reaching out. Casual texts like, "Hey, how have you been?" or "This reminded me of you." These aren't innocent. They're quiet tests to see if she still holds space in your life. If those fail, she may shift strategies, acting indifferent, bringing up other people, or even trying to make you jealous. Not out of disinterest, but as a way to provoke emotion from you. What she's really after isn't love. It's reassurance that she still matters. Most men falter here by chasing or over-explaining, but real strength lies in holding your ground. When you remain calm and detached, you become unpredictable, and that forces her to question everything she thought she knew about you. A powerful psychological shift in your favor. Number 3, the curiosity that makes her reevaluate. Once the shock fades and her attempts to regain your attention fail, curiosity quietly creeps in. But it's not just curiosity about you. It's about what changed. Why did you go silent? What shifted? She replays your past conversations, your tone, your presence, looking for signs she might have missed. These aren't random thoughts. They haunt her. She asks friends, reanalyzes memories, searches for meaning. Your distance has become a puzzle she needs to solve. In that space, your absence amplifies your value. She starts to remember the little things, your patience, your depth, the subtle ways you showed care. Suddenly, what once felt familiar now feels rare. Without a word, you flip the script, and the more she reflects, the more she realizes what she overlooked and what she might have lost. Number 4, the role of ego. Ego is her silent defense mechanism. It thrives on control, validation, and emotional certainty. When you were emotionally present, it affirmed her importance. But the moment you pull back, that steady supply of validation vanishes, forcing her to question her influence and control. This shift threatens her identity, and the ego doesn't handle that well. She may react by trying to provoke jealousy, making indirect remarks, or pretending she doesn't care, all attempts to reassert power. But beneath it all is insecurity. The key here is your silence and calm. Don't react. Let her ego wrestle with the discomfort. Over time, her need for control fades, and what's left is her true emotional response. That's when reflection begins. If she truly values you, it will show, not through ego, but vulnerability. Number 5. The turning point, when she feels the void. Silence is often louder than words. When you step back, it's not just your absence she notices. It's the loss of your energy, attention, and presence. At first, she may act unfazed, convincing herself she can adapt. But over time, the silence grows heavier. The laughs you sparked, the calm you brought, even your steady presence, all start to echo in her memory. Slowly, the void you left turns into a mirror. She begins to reflect, not just on what's missing, but why it's missing. Doubts creep in. Did she push you away? Did she take you for granted? This phase isn't about punishment. It's about letting reality speak louder than any confrontation ever could. And your move? Do nothing. Stay silent. Let her feel it. The more time passes, the more powerful your absence becomes. Number 6. Why silence amplifies your value. Silence isn't about ignoring her. It's about stepping back to let your presence echo in absence. When you go quiet, you stop feeding the constant validation she may have relied on. This sudden shift forces her to reflect on your impact. Instead of chasing or explaining, you simply let your actions speak. That calm, composed silence says, "I don't need to prove my worth," and that confidence lingers. With time, she starts to replay your moments together, your kindness, your stability, how you made her feel seen. Without your voice filling the space, the memory of you becomes louder. She begins questioning herself. Why hasn't he called? Did I lose something valuable? That silence doesn't just create curiosity, it creates urgency. And the longer you stay silent, the more she feels your absence. Not as emptiness, but as proof of your quiet strength. Number 7. The emotional tension becomes unbearable. As your silence stretches on, it creates a storm of emotional tension. But it's not just about missing you, it's the not knowing that gets to her. Where do you stand now? Do you still care? That uncertainty keeps you locked in her thoughts. What once felt stable now feels shaky, and that loss of control hits hard. She starts questioning everything. Did she take you for granted? Did she lose something real? That emotional friction stirs regret, curiosity, even guilt, and suddenly everything reminds her of you. A song, a street, a scent, triggers everywhere. This tension works in your favor. Why? Because it forces her to feel, to reflect, to realize your absence isn't empty. It echoes. And in that silence, you grow louder in her mind. Number 8. When curiosity turns into action. Curiosity can quietly evolve into action, especially when emotions linger. At first, she might like your posts, reply to a story, or send a casual, "Hey." But these aren't random. They're signals. She's been thinking, replaying old memories and questioning what really happened between you. That inner tension builds until she acts. Her reach out is rarely impulsive. It's often the result of days or weeks of internal reflection. Now your response matters. Don't rush. Stay calm, confident, and slightly detached. If she texts you, reply lightly, without diving deep too quickly. Show that you've moved forward, but you're not bitter. This calm strength shifts the dynamic. You're no longer the one chasing. You're the one she must now earn back. And that realization, it hits hard, because it tells her that losing you wasn't just a loss. It might have been the biggest mistake she made. Number 9. Emotional control always wins. Emotional control is one of the most magnetic traits a man can possess, especially when she tries to reconnect. She may test you by bringing up past drama or mentioning other men just to provoke a reaction. But your response defines everything. If you react with anger or frustration, it signals you're still emotionally entangled. If you stay calm and composed, it shows strength, confidence, and emotional mastery. This doesn't mean hiding your feelings. It means owning them. True power is being able to handle rejection or conflict without being thrown off balance. That kind of inner stability is rare, and it draws people in. When you don't flinch, she feels your self-worth. And when she sees that your happiness doesn't depend on her, the dynamic shifts. You're no longer chasing, you're leading, and that unshakable energy is unforgettable. Number 10. The power of moving on gracefully. One of the most powerful things a man can do is move on, calmly, confidently, and without bitterness. This doesn't mean cutting her off or pretending not to care. It means choosing yourself. You show that you respect yourself enough to leave what no longer aligns with your values. That quiet strength speaks volumes. It's not revenge. It's not a game. It's self-respect. And ironically, it's deeply attractive. When she sees you moving forward, investing in your purpose, growing in silence, focused on your own life, it creates a sense of curiosity and admiration. She remembers how you didn't beg or chase. You handled it with dignity, and that memory lingers. Over time, it often leads to regret, but by then, you'll be stronger, wiser, and you'll choose whether letting her back in serves your peace or disrupts it. That's real power. If this message resonated with you, don't just move on. Rise. Hit the like button if you found strength in this. Subscribe for weekly content that sharpens your mind and strengthens your soul. And tell me in the comments, have you ever had to walk away from something you once cared deeply about? Your story might just help someone else find their way. Stay grounded, stay silent, stay powerful. This is the Stoic Wolf. See you in the next one.